Alright, Rex and SOS are starting to get ready for us, so we are going to be jumping in.
Yes, here we go. We finally do have a series. It will not be a PvP, which was our other option. We'll be getting into a ZVP.
Yeah? What a window.
Alright. Yeah. And honestly, I love this. I miss this for whatever reason. I say for whatever reason. In the Latin American scene, we've been casting this matchup a lot, and it's just, I don't know. I feel at home here.
It's familiar
I end up casting
territory.
this. Yeah. I have this. I don't know about you and how you feel about the matchup. So for me, ZVP is at home, and ZVT is a treat. It's like dessert. You know, it's like something that you want but you don't have all the time.
Exactly. For me, I find PvP to be home. Not so much because of, but it's kind of like an abusive home. I don't know if I should have gone that far.
Whoa.
I don't know if I should have gone that far. It's home, but I wanna be moving out, if that makes sense. We are now on Everdream LE Italy Edgela, where in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the Red Zug. Coming out all the way from the land of Taiwan, we have the player who's currently teamless, but was previously on Jinner Greenwing's Jaguar, as well as YE Spider. No, I'm not reading off of Liquipedia right now. I read it off of it about 5 minutes ago. We have Rex.
Remember the days of YE Spider with Daisy as well? Oh my god, I was a big Daisy fan back in the day. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player. They used to be teammates, they used to both be on Jinner Greenwings. Now it is only this one. He is SOS.
And while we go into that, thank you very much, Probe, for the raid.
Oh, wow! Thank you so much, Probe, for the raid. I hope you enjoyed your stream. I know you were streaming far before you started your ESL run, and yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it.
I'm not in agreement right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of which, we are getting into Rex versus SOS. Rex, of course, unfortunately, we didn't get to cast the series, but he did take out Probe. Not too sure how that went down, but yeah, it's kind of weird. We were talking about this before. I'm not too sure, but I think Rex and Probe were at the project house at the same time? Question mark? Maybe
Potentially. Probe,
potentially.
I know this.
If you're in the chat, confirm whether you lived together or not when you were in Korea. But yeah, at least they both were there for some time, maybe at the same time, maybe not. And we have a kind of similar dynamic here where Rex and Jinner and SOS, they were both on Jinner, they both lived together, they both practiced together. I wonder if that comes into play here.
They're both in vlogs together on the same team, and yeah, I'm just curious as to, similar to you, I'm just curious as to whether or not they really are planning for anything specific based on that time.
Yeah. Go on.
I was just gonna say, SOS is going for a proxy Stargate, but considering that it is SOS, I'm not sure whether it's because he's going specifically against Rex or if it's just SOS things. Hashtag just SOS things.
Yeah, and at the moment, Rex, he has no idea that this is out of the map. So far, nothing has really, risen alarm bells for Rex. He's just playing this pretty normally. There are depths coming out. He has overlords in position to eventually go into the main base. So this is going to be completely unscouted, and the Oracle is almost done.
It is just about finishing up. Rex, only 2 queens to his name at the moment, and not producing any more. I think he really is anticipating a depth printer.
Yeah, and oh my god, all the probes are bunching up, the Oracle coming in!
Yeah, good target firing, the Oracle does rush to come in, and this is gonna be a lot more damage.
Oh my god, there are 0 spores ready for this, so many drones are falling, and luckily he does have a good queen count, but 9.
9. That crew count was not too good. But Rex does finally scout out the Stargate. And starting to put a little bit of pressure on it, but yeah. SOS will manage to get the other Oracle out. Probably not going to be producing too much behind that, from that Stargate anyway, but yeah, the important thing is, it's not double Oracles, that's enough to one-shot a drone.
Yeah, I mean, they are pretty low on energy, so it will take quite some time, but they're both here, they have scouting information, and they're just diving in anyway. There's still no Spore here! There's no Queen either!
And that's a hatchery that is only going to be used for production, at least for the time being.
For the time being,
well, the Adepts are starting to go back in! The Adepts are starting to go back in, and where are the Queens? They all went to deal with the Oracle. SOS picking Rex apart right now. This is brutal.
Jesus Christ, what a big brain. He pulls all the Queens to the third while he shades into the main, and he recalls out as well, saving everything.
I don't think... I think that was less of a big brain and more of a cruel heart. I gotta tell you, like...
Could be a bit of both. Could be a bit of both.
No, not giving Rex a moment to breathe here.
Oh my god, yeah. With these two Oracles, he dives in, he kills a Queen, kills a bunch of more larvae as well.
And Rex, I gotta give it to him. He is reproducing those drones as much as he can, so he's eventually gonna be in a stable economic position, but not before these Adepts manage to make it across the map with glaives.
Exactly. The problem is that the SOS is not stopping with the aggression, and as you pointed out, like Rex was trying to drone up before this, which means there isn't too much here to deal with all of these Adepts. Glaives is finishing up just as this hits.
And these three Queens, they've been through a lot, and now they're really gonna get put to the test right now. There are some links here to try to get us around on these Adepts, but nowhere near enough. And the Roaches, man, again, following that theme, nowhere near enough of them.
Yeah, they're only just popping out, which, I mean, it's nice that they are on the way, but they're, as you said, they're just not enough. There's only two here at the natural that are being focused down. There are so few in number that the Adepts can actually start focusing them down and actually winning fights and winning trades against the Roaches.
Exactly, and especially with Glaives Adepts, who don't really care about the actual damage.
Oh, God.
How much damage an attack does, because it fires so quickly.
Exactly, and with that, another 11 drones go down, almost gets the Spore as well, and, you know, Glaive Shade in, Glaive Shade out.
The circle of life.
Circle of life. Oh my god, and behind this, SOS, he's already working on the follow-up. He's getting Blink, he's getting +1 attack as well to switch into a more Blink Stalker Immortal heavy army after this, you know, harassment ends. But again, like, even though he's got the follow-up, he still has his depths that he's playing with right now.
Yeah, honestly may as well. He knows he got a lot of damage done, so he's nowhere near as zealous with them, trying to go for these spores. He's just setting up for his eventual push, clearing the creep wherever he can, just, you know, trying to get a sense of his opponent's army and trying to force him to make a lot of roaches. That kind of died to Immortals.
And I don't know if you noticed, but SOS, he actually focused down that Spore at the third base, so the Spore went down, and now the Oracles, they're headed over there, abusing the fact that there's no more static defense. There is a single Queen, but oh god.
SOS, he's just got a checklist in his mind right now. Does my opponent have anti-air? No? Okay, send the Oracles around.
Does he have anti-air? Yes, right, send in the Adepts, deal with the anti-air.
Exactly.
Then send in the
Eventually,
Oracles.
you get the same end result. Exactly, it's all about the order. I always love when you can sort of, yeah. I always love when you can sort of see a player like that. It gives me a bit of a guideline of what I should be looking to do.
Yeah, you can see their mindset, their thought process, you know, what they do, what their follow-up process is, and yeah, here we go, the War Prism is across the map. Now Blink is almost done, +1 is almost done as well. He is here with the army, and Rex, he's battered, he's bruised. What does he have? He has no Ravagers for these force fields.
That's what he's got. GG is called, and I'm a little bit disappointed, I gotta tell you, like, I wanted to see the force fields.
Oh my god, Rex knew that he had nothing to do with that army. Like, even without the sentries there, like, it would have been a tough ask to hold. With the sentries, it's like, man, what do I do? What even?
Yeah, I'm not sure, is my answer to that.
GG.
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 But all things considered, I think Rex had a decent early game based on the information that he had. Obviously, he didn't know about that Stargate until it was far too late, but yeah, I'm liking his responses to what SOS is really doing. It's gonna be a lot more on him to be scouting early on, to really figure out what SOS is gonna do. And if he can do that, then I think Rex could potentially take this game.
Yeah, definitely. It was just so rough because after that opener, it felt like Rex was just always on the back foot. Like SOS, once he started with the momentum, he just kept going. He just didn't stop. Again,
following that checklist in his mind. It doesn't matter how he gets it done, he just has to keep on moving.
And a bit of an update for the people in the chat. You know, if you're fans of some of these players, Ragnarok just 2-0'd M Canning, and he is about to start his series versus Time.
Ooh, that's gonna be pretty exciting. But before we get into that, I actually don't remember if that's the semis or quarterfinals, but we'll figure it out eventually. We are now on Eternal Empire, L-E-E-L-E, Ile. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner map. We have our Red Zerg, gonna be representing himself as he is currently teamless all the way from the land of Taiwan. He is the king. Give it up for Rex. And speaking of the king, thank you very much, M. Canning, for the raid.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He really is the king, isn't he?
Wow. Thank you so much, M. Canning, for the raid. We really do appreciate it. It's always great to see M. Canning playing in these ESL Open Cups every week. Even though it's like he's not from the region, like he's still there. He stays up and he plays in them. It's great to see the passion that he has. And speaking of passion, we have here spawning in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, representing generic Green Wings. It is SOS. Forge.
There's a Forge. Not a Forge first, which is important to note, but a very quick Forge.
Oh boy.
Where's that +1?
Oh boy. There it is. Yep, it's thrown down at the third base. Yeah, we've seen this before. We've actually seen Rex hold this before. This is what Probe did that time.
That one time. All right, well, I guess we're gonna see if SOS has a micro to pull this off. Rex is starting to move forward. He does see the cannon, but the cannon is gonna be finishing up. This pylon is gonna be uncontested for quite some time.
Oh, yeah, and we'll see. I can't quite remember. I think last time Rex was able to hold this. For the people who are unaware, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, Probe had a series against Rex in ESL Open Cup, and every single game, we went to game 3, Probe cannon rushed, and Eternal Empire was one of them, and he did a cannon rush very similar to this, and Rex's response was to make a bunch of spines, pull a couple of I don't think he pulled drones, but he pulled some units, and then he just went forward with all his spines borrowed and dealt with everything on the high ground.
Yeah, but I think this is going to be a little bit of a tougher ask, as unlike that series of Probe, SOS is really going all out. He built his robo facility on the high ground. He is getting a ton of shield batteries here with those cannons. Rex is starting to move forward, and I think he just should have just enough health to survive this. But
we'll see
the cannons, though.
Yeah, the low ground cannons are supporting. The shield batteries actually finished up, and they're going to be keeping the cannons on the high ground alive. All the lings are going to be going down, and the shield batteries, they've run out of energy, and it looks like the cannons will be taken out, and Rex has held.
Rex has held that? Really? Wow. That's that. Yeah. Okay, then.
There we go. Probe can't feel too bad, as even SOS cannot pull this off against Rex. His cannon rush defense is on point, and he has the high ground. You know, he's going to be able to shell away at this with his spines, even using his lings here to try and make sure nothing gets too out of control. And yeah, this is great.
It really is. He did not even have to go back and forth like he did in the previous times he's come up against this build. He just, nope, I know what's coming up for me. Get a bunch of spines and let's go.
Exactly, and all the lings, they kill the cannon, everything gets cancelled, and it's so rough for SOS because the robo finished, which means that's just so much wasted resources here, and immediately SOS, he starts a Stargate.
Yeah, knows that he's really going to be on the back foot. He needs some kind of defense. Especially against Zerglings, Oracles are going to be your best bet. Ling speed is still a little of ways off, so SOS has a little bit of time to set that up. But yeah, just looking at the army supply right now, it's not looking too good for him.
Yeah, Rex, he's held immaculately right now. He's pretty far ahead, but again, like, it's about whether he can hold against the Stargate. I don't believe. Oh, okay, he has spotted it. He has spotted it with his Overlord, so he does know what the follow-up is. So he should be able to prepare for it as long as he clicked on the morphing building.
Yeah, and I would imagine. Generally, I would imagine that he would. He is now turning around to Zerglings. Knows that he cannot crack SOS, at least not yet. But, okay, GG is called, and Rex is gonna take it to the ace match. I was just gonna say there aren't any spores out at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't, but SOS, he realizes how far behind it was, how much he invested across the map, and yeah, he taps out. GG. Rex ties up.
Can't believe it. How did his defense against that build get even better? That is what I want to know.
Right. Oh my god. Like, if you're a Zerg player out there, if you're struggling, or, you know, if you've encountered this kind of cannon rush on Eternal Empire before, 2 games now, 2 times against 2 different players, Rex has been able to hold it, and so well. So much better this time as well. Yeah. Against SOS.
Against SOS. I think a little bit of a small point that I didn't really mention in the game was that SOS was forced to cancel that robo facility and rebuild into low ground. That was, I think, one of... I imagine if SOS could start getting out a Warp Prism or an Immortal, things could have taken a bit of a different turn, or maybe not, considering that the shield batteries were already wiped out.
Yeah, definitely. That was just really impressive to see, and I'm just very impressed by that defense. I'm definitely like taking notes myself as a Zerg player. I'm like, oh, okay, if this happens, this is what I want to be doing. And yeah, we're tied up. I can't imagine SOS in the ace match is going to do something crazy. I just realized what map we're loading into.
How did this not fall under the vetoes is what I ask every time. Submarine is gonna be our next map.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Turbo Quacker, thank you very much for those gifted subs. This, man, you... I just gotta say, thank you very much, Turbo Quacker. I did see you earlier on in the last Fira broadcast. You were also giving out a couple of subs there. I definitely do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Turbo Quacker. He has been supporting us for quite some time. He's always very generous with his Twitch subs. And yeah, congratulations to Demi, the Indian Zerg player, and Maples, the Canadian Protoss player, for receiving those subs. Yeah, Canadian.
Oh, Maples, right, not Mabel.
Mabel's also got a gifted sub during the 2v2 as well, yeah. But yeah, Maples, he's he runs his own tournaments. I don't know if you're familiar with Top Tier Practice, but he runs those events.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar. I have heard the name before.
It's Top Tier Practice is a Discord server, and yeah, Maples runs occasional, I think, monthly tournaments for them. And he's also a pro player. Like he competes in NA Apprentice Cup. So yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say that.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I gotta say that Discord server is in the upper echelon. I'm not sure how else to really phrase that. It's, at the height of the... I did not think this one through.
I didn't even know what you're going for.
I was trying to pretend I didn't know what top tier stood for. Man, speaking of top tier, here we are on LE Submarine, where we all live in. It's the LE Submarine. The LE Submarine. Where in the bottom right hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of the map, we have the Red Zerg. He is coming down all the way from the land of Taiwan. A caster, a player, but most importantly, the king himself, and ready to give it up for Rex.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Submarine LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Jin Air Green Wings. It is SOS.
Already forcing a natural in an unnatural position.
Not gonna lie, I was half expecting a 12 full. I was very surprised at the hatch first. Yo, not just in SDO in our amateur tournaments, but in Battle of the Americas, I've seen too many 12 fools on this map. I've seen a lot.
Well, I think Rex
Christ.
is trying to break out of that mold a little bit, you know? He doesn't want to conform to your expectations.
I mean, it's not every day that you're, in a tournament and you're tied up 1-1 with SOS, with a player like SOS. So yeah, I would imagine Rex is going to want to play this straight up, play this, as safe as possible, play as comfortably as he can to actually take this win, which would be a huge upset.
Yeah, well, yeah, it would be. It would very much be a huge upset, considering that SOS, again, he's made it to the semifinals 2 weeks in a row at this point. He's usually been taking it to the ace match. Don't quite remember the score of SOS versus Stats, but yeah, he so far has only lost to champions. If Rex wins now, I'd expect him to win the whole bracket. No pressure.
I would yeah, no pressure, Rex. But if you take this, then you got to go all the way to the finals. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. So far, this ZVP has been pretty standard, as standard as you can be on a map like Submarine, and I'm just really curious to see what comes out as. Yeah. So far, no tech has been thrown down from SOS, and yeah,
Rex is starting to get more lings though. He is right now on 10, or he will be on 10, getting that third base out at about standard timing. I guess these are just safety lings. He's starting to drone up right now, Rex is.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting a couple of extra drones because it's a little bit more difficult to protect your main base and your natural, especially when your natural isn't connected by creep and it isn't in your natural. So, yeah, just making sure that the adepts don't deal too much damage. In saying that, though, the lings aren't here, and this adept is actually going to get some drones. Yeah,
Rex trying to go for that scout, but there's a reason why you generally only send a handful of lings to scout. As SOS is starting to get damaged. Nice,
oh god.
Nice morph into a spore crawler there, but yeah. I just love that the lings show up and the adept has already been dealt with.
Exactly. That was a lot of damage. One adept, normally you see 2 adepts do this, but 1 adept got in 3 drone kills and forced 2 spores. Like, that was a decent amount of damage done already by SOS.
Exactly, and Rex, he's already a little bit thrown off. He wanted to send those lings off to SOS's side of the map. He was forced to turn them around, and now, I don't know, he's got to feel a little shaken there.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what his follow-up is, and there we go, Roach Horn is thrown down, as he did go in with an Overlord. He did spot the Twilight Council, so he knows that Glaives are on the way. He should be prepared for this, he should be ready for this. In saying that, SOS, he did a lot of damage with them in game number 1. Can Rex perform better, defend better here in game number 3?
Well, I can tell you one thing, Light. I don't see any oracles on the map.
Exactly. No oracles, just ground units for SOS. So already a little bit of a better position for Rex.
Yeah, Queens are not gonna have to pick and choose where to defend. Although these shades can get a little annoying. Can really jump in and disrupt your whole defensive flow.
Yeah, definitely. It's so important that right now, with these queens, Rex is spreading creep in between all his bases, connecting them to make sure that the queens don't take too long to navigate between his main, his natural, his third base. In saying that, we do have these adepts. They don't commit to the shade, and they are rotating down, but they're just kind of chilling.
Yeah, SOS is being very patient right now, very cautious. He's waiting for that Warp Prism to move across the map and really waiting to get that critical mass of adepts that can do a lot of damage. We do see that Dark Shrine follow-up behind this. Probably the most effective follow-up to the Adept Printer, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. It has become a little bit more popular in recent weeks, and here we go. The Adepts, they're starting to take out the Roaches. The Roaches are not in high enough numbers.
And again, just getting picked off one by one, not committing to that second shade. And not really committing too much, to be honest, right now. Yeah, sOs just
he doesn't.
trying to force Rex to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't need to because there's a Warp Prism in the main base of Rex, warping in more and more Adepts. He actually deals with some of the Lings, and yeah, it looks like everything's gonna meet up.
They will. That's a lot of Adepts. And look at the SimCity right now. That is such a good choke point right now for sOs, utilizing the Geyser as well as the spawning pool. This might just be enough of a domino effect. I do not see Rex's army.
Yeah, there's no creep connecting the third base to the natural. There is that gap there on the ramp, meaning it's even longer. It takes even longer for the Queens and Roaches to move through and rotate through. And the Adepts, they shade from the third back into the main.
And once again, sOs is gonna be making it into the semifinals of ESL Pro Tour Open Cup Asia circuit / edition. Really good showing by Rex though. I really like what I've been seeing out. You can really tell that he was playing it reactive, and his decisions, they weren't wrong decisions.
Yeah, it's always just difficult when you're going up against a player of the caliber of sOs, right? Like he's one of the best players in the world. He's got so much like accolades like behind him, right? Like he's achieved so much. How many
IEMs has he won? Yeah, how many BlizzCons has he won?
Yeah, he's such a great player. And Rex, like, he did really well defending on Eternal Empire against the Cannon Rush. That was very impressively done. But yeah, when it came to the more standard play, like he really struggled defending multiple places at once. Spreading creep, making sure he had his queens in the right position. Like, yeah, sOs really shone there with his Glaive Adepts.
I gotta tell you, Light, I hurt Sean, and I had to stop myself from going back into that. Good old Sean.
Gotta just keep it in. But yeah, currently we're just waiting for another series. So as you said, sOs, he advances to the semifinals. We have Ragnarok versus Time going on. We have Hurricane versus Patience, and Zess versus Creator. It looks like Wardy isn't in any of those, as he is here in the lobby. So Zombie Grub should be casting one of those series. Which one? I'm not too sure. We would have to check her stream.
Yeah, we're trying to spread these series out as much as we can, so as many of these games can get covered, whether it be by us, by Zombie Grub, by Renegade, or by Wardy.